The Australian Turks Iftar Dinner 2018 is presented in conjunction with the Australian Turkish Community Organisations and Associations of Victoria, the Consulate of the Republic of Turkey, and with our humble appreciation, because without them these sorts of events can't happen, our amazing sponsors who have supported this event. Just a short passage on who the 50th and 70th year committee are. So the 50th and 70th anniversary celebration committee was formed to acknowledge and honour the great friendship between Turkey and Australia and mark the occasion of the migration of Turks to Australia under the agreement signed on the 5th of October 1967. In 1968, families, couples and individuals with hope in their hearts, wonder in their eyes, and bags full of courage, not much more than that, made the plane trip across the globe to Australia. Most hadn't even heard of Australia. Since then, Turks in Australia continue to contribute to the multicultural landscape through business and trade, academia, social and community work, food, healthcare, arts and politics, to name a few. Through strong leadership and playing an active role in civil society, Turks aim to lead the way in upholding social cohesion and role modelling successful integration for new and emerging communities in Australia.
Değerli misafirler, Avustralya'ya Türklerin ilk karşılaşmaları 1915 yılında Gelibolu'da silahlar altında olsa da bugüne baktığımızda böyle acı bir hatırası olan karşılaşmanın iki ülke arasında güzel bir dostluğa bürünmüş olduğunu görmekteyiz. Türk toplumu çok kültürlü Avustralya'da farklı diller, desenler, görüşler ve kültürlerle yan yana yaşamayı en büyük zenginlik olarak görmekte ve toplumların kültür değerlerine bağlılığını, tarihsel miraslarının korunmasını güçlü bir şekilde desteklemektedir. Değerli konuklar, iftar programımızın gerçekleşmesine maddi katkı sağlayan Müsiyat Sanayi İş Adamları Derneği Melbourne temsilcisi, Müsiyat Yönetim Kurulu Başkanı Dr. Ali Gürbey ve Müsiyat üyelerine çok teşekkür ediyorum. Program hazırlıkları esnasında birlikte çalıştığımız Dr. Ali Gür, Adem Genç, Rıdvan Kılıç, Şamil Demir, Yalçın Demirkol, Nuh Özkan, Fatıma Sezgin, Nurper Göker, Hakkı Süleyman kardeşlerime sizlerin üzerinde teşekkür ediyorum. Çok kısa bir zamanda böyle bir programı hazırlamamıza destek verdiler. Kendi özel işlerinden zaman ayırıp beraber olduk. Kendilerine sevgi ve selamlarını sunuyorum. Bu akşam burada bu programımıza katıldığınız için sizlere tekrar teşekkür ediyorum. Hepinizi saygıyla, sevgiyle selamlıyorum. Allah'ın selamı üzerinize olsun. Selamun aleyküm.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حي على
Ramadan, as we all know, is a very special period for Muslims. It is a holy month. It is a month of fasting, worship, caring and sharing. An iftar dinner is a great tradition of Ramadan as well, where we are not only breaking our fast, but sharing our meal and time with family members and friends, regardless of their culture, race, color and faith. On this note, I believe that iftar dinner fits very well with the tenets of this city, the champion of the multiculturalism. The promotion of multiculturalism and the peaceful and harmonious communal life in this state through iftar dinners is indeed sets another great example. I believe that I believe and I hope this great practice will continue and will become a strong tradition in the city. This Iftar dinner is a very special since we are celebrating Turkish migration to Australia. This migration story started 50 years ago from Turkey and 70 years ago from Cyprus and other countries. However, this migration story, in my humble view, is another episode in the Turkish nation's journey, started thousands of years ago in the vast steppes of the Central Asia and ended today in faraway countries and the corners of the globe. On this occasion, I would like to commend and thank for each and every Turkish community member, either first or younger generations, for their hard work and success. I believe Turkish Australians will continue to prosper in the coming years in this beautiful country. I also would like to extend my gratitude to the organizing committee, its president Cemal Bey and his team, partner Turkish associations and business and sponsors. My special thanks goes to the Dr. Ali Gür, of course, the president of the Museum Australia, for his critical support and push in making this Iftar Dinner real.
So our story begins, I suppose, and my brother's here, and of course I was only about 6 years of age when we came here. We were the third grouping of Turkish communities to come out to Australia. I think we came out here in 1971. And it's appropriately that it's the 50th anniversary, because I think it's very important to highlight not only the 50th anniversary of the Turkish migration, but also to highlight the 70th anniversary of the Cypriot migration. The Cypriot Turks obviously came out here 70 years ago. And they actually made it a little bit easier for us to come to this wonderful state. And of course there were lots of hard work that happened in that 20-year gap between when the first migrants from Cypriot Turkish background came here and then of course the Turks coming here in 1968. It's very important to the connection between the Turks and the Anzacs is that point of of course war is always something that's not nice and lots of people lost their lives. But the campaign of Gallipoli brought the two countries together like no other war, and the respect between the Turks and the Anzacs for each other was immense. Now we're seeing it through the letters that were written by the soldiers themselves. We're not saying it as politicians, or the Turkish politicians aren't saying it, neither are the Australian politicians. These are the letters that were written by the soldiers of the time when they wrote back and shared their stories with their families of the camaraderie and the friendships, ironically, in war with the Turks. And of course, so that war is remembered as a gallant war, as a war of warriors, both Australians, New Zealanders and Turks fought courageously and with respect. And of course, that's what bonds are created from, and that's the bond that we have with both of my nations now. Of course, I'm of Turkish background, but I'm also a very proud Aussie, and so I'm proud of being both Turkish and Australian because of that very important story.
For me, it began with my father, Hakkı Süleyman, arriving as a 17-year-old in Port Melbourne from Cyprus, and he had nothing other than a suitcase, which I say full of hope, full of dreams, full of aspirations for a better life here in Australia. And he worked very hard, contributed back to his community. He really, his heart was always within the Turkish community, volunteering, working not only for 3ZZZ, but contributing to various community groups across Victoria. And of course, being an active member to the Australian Labor Party, I think he's very passionate and no doubt, as John just previously said, the social justice issues that attracted him to our fine political party. It's been an absolute honour for me and a privilege not only to be the first Australian Turkish Cypriot female to walk into the doors of Victorian Parliament, but to have the support. And someone said to me once, to be able to progress and know your future, you must know your past and where you have come from. And, you know, the doors were opened none other by Tayfun Erin. And I want to thank you, Tayfun, because you did the hard yards. At the beginning, you opened the doors and allowed us all to follow from then onwards. So thank you, Tayfun. Politics is a hard game, and you have all inspired us.
And can I firstly congratulate Australian Turks on hosting the dinner tonight, providing us with this opportunity to come together, to enjoy fellowship, enjoy good company, and to celebrate the strength and contribution of the Turkish community here in Australia. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Australian Turks on hosting tonight's dinner, to providing this opportunity for us to come together and celebrate all that is great about the Turkish community in Australia. I look forward to this event becoming an annual one and this opportunity to celebrate the strength of the cultural ties and economic ties between Turkey and Australia going from strength to strength. So
you know, we are blessed to live in this country. Absolutely blessed. And I sometimes say to gatherings of people who come from countries around the world to make Victoria their home, give them the message, this is not your country. This is not my country. This is our country. Ramadan is a very special time. It's a time of reflection. It's a time when we bring people together for a meal, and there's probably no better interaction between people than having a meal together. It's pretty hard to be angry at somebody if you've just sliced bread and eaten that bread, shared that bread with somebody at the same table. So Ramadan is about breaking a fast and bringing people together, friends and family. And this Iftar dinner has also been reflected upon as an inaugural dinner by the Australian Turkish community, one that brings many leaders from the Turkish community together with some of their friends, particularly others from the Islamic faith. And it's terrific to be here tonight as part of that. But the message that I want to put to you when you look to next year and beyond is the importance of sharing your faith with people who are not of the Islamic faith. In other words, to share it with the broader community, to allow other people to understand some of the values that you have, that you share as a community. Because if you do that, they will understand that their values and yours are very much the same, very much aligned. And if they understand that, and we all come together, then Victoria is going to be a better place. And the contribution that we as a state and that our country might make to global affairs in addressing some of the wrongs, some of the human rights issues, some of the conflicts, is going to be a much easier task. I invite you to share with others and expand this Iftar dinner to a broader community.
And we particularly mark that now, tonight, at this Iftar dinner, and particularly mark the fact that it was 50 years ago this year that Australia and Turkey signed an agreement which allowed and supported Turkish people to come to Australia, and in doing so became the first major Islamic group to come to Australia in larger numbers. And so a large part of the Islamic story in Australia is a Turkish story, and a large part of the Turkish story is an Islamic story, but they're all Australian stories. And I think tonight is a great testimony of our fantastic multicultural nation. Thank you again for the invitation to be here. Congratulations on this 70th anniversary since the first Cypriot Turks came, the 50th anniversary since the signing of that historic agreement, and of course the Iftar dinner that we're sharing tonight.
The past is never dead, it isn't even past. Australia and Turkey share a unique relationship. You think of what Ataturk, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk said as the winning general and then the founder of modern secular Turkey. And those gracious diplomatic words where he said, the Johnnies and the Mehmets lie side by side. They are at home, they're at peace. They're part of our country now. And since I've been the MP for Broadmeadows, I've established the side-by-side project to honour that. Because 100 years later, Broadmeadows is where the Johnnies and the Mehmets live side by side. I want to pass on the regards from the Minister for Multicultural Affairs, Robin Scott, to Dr. Ali Gur as well, who's here from Masyad, to everyone, as I say, to the children, the school children in Broadmeadows. Only the accents, not the aspirations, have changed. Broadmeadows has evolved into virtually United Nations in one neighbourhood, with people from more than 160 different countries now calling Australia home. My father was a Scot, an Irish mother. I'm a boy off the boat, grew up in Broadmeadows when it was the end of the line, but as my late dad always said, this is where you get your start in the land of opportunity. And I say to the children, think about your history and your heritage, know your culture, know where you come from, and enjoy your opportunity to grow up in the world's most livable city and in such a fantastic country as Australia, the fair go that it gives to so many people. Ramadan Mubarak.
Melbourne'a ilk gelenlerdeyim. 15 Kasım 1968'de Broadmeadows Campus Hostel'e geldik. 50 yıldır Avustralya'da yaşıyoruz. İlk geldiğim günleri Avustralya'da biraz pişmanlık duydum. Fakat şimdi alıştıktan sonra şimdi Avustralya dünyanın en iyi yeri diyebilirim. Avustralya 9 milyondu geldiğimizde. Sıkıntılarımız vardı. Hiçbir yiyecek bulamazdık kendimize göre. Ama şimdi Türkiye gibi yaşıyoruz. Bu da gerçek. Geldiğimizde Avustralya'da iş çoktu. Günde belki 8-10 iş bulabilirdik. Hatta bazı iş yerleri arkadaş işçi getirirse $20, $30 ücret verirlerdi. Şimdi Avustralya güzelleşti ama işsizlik var.
Ben yürürüm yâre yâre, aşk boyadı beni kâre. Ne akilem ne divane, gel gör beni, aşk neyledi.
Migration carries with it the responsibility of being better and of doing better, the hope for a better life, a prosperous future. Welcoming arms and embracing diversity is what makes Australia a great country. Hope and humanity go hand in hand. Peace and prosperity is our state motto, and in order to achieve that, we need hope and humanity. Let us always honour this. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an absolute honour hosting you this evening. I would now like to call upon Mr. Jamal Akdeniz OAM to introduce the 50th and 70th committee members. If we could give them all a round of applause when they're on stage, please.
Değerli komite üyelerimiz, bu akşam burada hep beraber bir fotoğraf almak istiyorum kendileriyle, genç kardeşlerimizle. Nuh Bey kardeşim, Şamil, Rıdvan, Nurper Hanım, Ayşe Hanım ve diğer arkadaşlarım, burada olan arkadaşlarım, hepsini hatırlayamıyorum bu kalabalıkta. Eğer buyurun gelirlerse hep beraber fotoğraf alalım. Bu genç arkadaşlarımızı, bizim yaşımız ilerledi. Bundan sonraki çalışmalarda genç arkadaşlarımızdan çok beklentilerimiz var. Bu arkadaşlarımıza destek olalım hep beraber. Ve kendilerinden daha güzel şeyler beklediğimizi ve onlara katkı yapacak olduğumuzu de arkasında destekçi olduğumuzu söyleyelim ve teşekkür ediyorum hepinize bizi de dinlediğiniz için, zaman ayırdığınız için efendim.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking this awesome committee again for putting on this wonderful iftar.